All praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai Ba'Shem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone that taught us this epic truth. And Shalom to the hopeful elect. I wanted to go into the fact that the Jacob's trouble that's about to hit the scene in this last time is not the first time that the Heavenly Father jacked our people up. All right, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and confusion of faces. Okay, fuck these new demographics, these new fucking bywords and titles that our people are designated with. Okay, we are the children of Israel. All right, and our people have continually rebelled against the Heavenly Father, right? Pretty fucking much since the inception of our people as a nation. Okay, look how much of demons that many of the 12 patriarchs were. Okay, Jacob's sons. All right, we just recently went over that account in the scriptures on the fuck shit that Judah did. Okay, Reuben was in some fuck shit. Fucking Levi, fucking Simeon was a complete demon. Okay, these men who whole nations are Salakia tribes, which makes up the entire nation of what our people have been engaged in since the inception of our people. Okay, and Jacob's trouble that's coming on the scene, this Jacob's trouble. See, that alone tells you, when you say this Jacob's trouble, it's showing you that it's happened before. Okay, there's been many Jacob's troubles. All right, so it's fucking asinine of these niggas in these other camps talking about how Jacob's trouble already happened. Okay, no, you fucking piece of shit. Jacob's trouble is a reoccurring tribulation that the Heavenly Father puts on 2/3 of the nation of Israel for their fucking wickedness. And this time is no other. And really, if anything, this time is going to be the worst Jacob's trouble that has ever been on the scene. Okay? Just wanted to use this Jeremiah 30:7 as a centerpiece and briefly go into the Jacob's troubles. We don't even have to hit the precepts for it, but I'll verbally cover these times that the Heavenly Father jacked our people the fuck up. Okay, you have, of course, 70 AD is an extremely notable one. Where that was heavy as fuck. The whole thing of circumvallation, that fucking siege warfare that was done upon our people in the time of 70 AD, right? Where they were fucking eating their clothes and fucking animal shit. Okay. And then graduated to people, okay, cooking up their babies for the lack of bread. All right. You know, you had fucking the bubonic plague, right? Which is when Jake was dwelling in fucking Europe, being complete demons over there. And the Heavenly Father sent a fucking, just a nasty, devastating plague upon our nation in that time to wreak havoc upon upon Jacob, okay, the inhabitants of Jacob in that time. It wiped out fucking millions of Israelites, and was heavy because what happened as a result of that? Who crept up into fucking power, right? There was a massive power shift in that time, and shortly thereafter was the Renaissance, right? Let's get the date. How many years was the Black Plague before the Renaissance? Because that was a catalyst. See, only 40 to 50 years. That fucking shows you right there that that was a power shift. You see, that it was this Black Plague, Black Death. Okay, it was a catalyst for the Edomites to be able to do what they did, to come into fucking power. Okay, because Jakes were getting fucking annihilated by the Heavenly Father. And it's heavy because, you know, the Elder Ayathon went into his videos, some of his videos about how, you know, one of the Heavenly Father's favorite ways to destroy is with plague. Okay? See, this modern world doesn't really know anything about that shit. The devastation of, you know, of a super deadly fucking disease. You know, that C-19 was not even child's play, man. Okay, that was like on some fake shit. Because a lot of the deaths that were, that they deemed that was from that C virus was really from other shit, comorbidities and other, you know, a motherfucker would fall down the stairs, break their fucking neck, and they would declare it a C-19 death. Okay, but no, that shit was like a glorified cold. You know, brothers actually got that shit. You know, according to E's diagnosis, they actually tested positive for the shit and didn't even know they had it. That's how weak the shit was. Okay, but this modern world doesn't really know anything about fucking deadly diseases, man. Okay, that it's heavy to think that the Heavenly Father's gonna run that shit all the way back. But, you know, the Elder Ayathon was going into it, how that's one of the Heavenly Father's favorite ways. Because look, you can wipe out a lot of fucking people with the plague, with a deadly disease. All right, and the scriptures talk about the plagues and the pestilence that's gonna rock this fucking place. All right, these things that thing that is so highly contagious. Okay, that you can breathe on a motherfucker, touch something that they touched, and catch this shit and not just drop dead, have that shit eating your fucking flesh, and you go out in fucking pure agony, torture. Okay, see, so right there, that the torturous conditions of a pestilence. See, the Heavenly Father can jack you up bad, man. Okay, but one of the things that the elder mentioned is that you can wipe out a lot of people at once with that shit. Okay, that was one of the forms and the ways when Malak Dawadad numbered Israel, King David. One of the ways that our people were getting fucking eradicated. Okay. Then what is another Jacob's trouble? Was fucking the transatlantic slave trade, which they say is, according to historical fucking documents, when examining anything that's happened to any people since the beginning of fucking time, right? As long as they can go back and as long as they have recordings and as long as they can determine, is the worst atrocities that happen to any peoples in the history of mankind. All right. I mean, we don't even have to go into it. We pretty much itemize a lot of those conditions and the atrocities often. So you already fucking know during the transatlantic slave trade and fucking colonization, right? Which included fucking plague, right? When this devil fucking came over here to the new world, so to speak. Um, One of the things that is called what fucked this place up. They chronicle it in that documentary, um, "Exterminate All the Brutes," right? Fucking 90% of the population of North, Central, and South America were fucking killed. 90 fucking percent. If you can understand how much that is. If it's 100, that's 90 of them, right? If that's a million, that's 900,000 of them. Okay, and going up and up. If that's 100 million, that's fucking 90 million. Okay, that were wiped the fuck out by three things it mentioned. It said germs, guns, and steel. Right. That's one of the things when you look into it. That 90% of the indigenous population of North, Central, and South America were wiped out by fucking germs, guns, and steel. And one of the main things is the germs, which is the plague and pestilence, man. Okay? That was a heavy fucking Jacob's trouble. So that's just three right there. Just right off the top, just since Yahushai, since Yahushai, his I believe they call it his transfiguration. Okay, shortly thereafter, 70 years. Okay, and this time is going to not only be no different, but if anything, it's going to be on a fucking exponentially worse scale. All right, and deservedly so from the Heavenly Father. When you go into the accounts in these scriptures um, that showcase what our people did in rebellion to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, it's all the more justified, okay? And the brother mentioned it today that that you know you get worse, okay? Jake has gotten worse. Jake is worse than he's ever fucking been, right? Because not only has wickedness increased and multiplied, knowledge increased and multiplied, but the transgression. So there's more ways to go off now. All right, and we see it. What did it tell you in that word degenerate? That means to get worse, to power down. Okay, degenerate. To degenerate means in the etymology to be worse than your forefathers. So each time you come back, each generation, which is in that word degenerate, degeneration is to be worse each generation. Okay? A fall from ancestral quality is what it goes into in the etymology. Okay? So each generation, these fucking Israelites have come back worse and worse and worse to where we are now. Okay? And that's why the judgment is going to be that much more critical. Jeremiah 30:7 says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Of course, going into the elect, okay? Going into the elect of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the ones not only that he has predestined for salvation, but they're going to have, of course, they're going to be different from these other fucking niggas and spics of our nation, okay? They're going to be vastly different. The ones that are allotted for salvation are going to be there, and they are the ones that returned in their same lot, okay, seeking the Heavenly Father. And it's not about works, but they are going to have righteousness. They are going to be, you know, righteousness is going to be pretty much the foundation, okay? Of course, to the best of their ability. But just as it says, this day is going to be great. And great really goes into, when you break that down, the word great in its real sense. See, people in America, they have like a skewed sense of vocabulary. Oh, this day is great. When you think it's great, meaning like fucking very good. No. Great means it really has to do with quantity, okay? Or size. Great really has to do with size, meaning fucking large in size, okay? So this day, it means it's gonna be, this is a massive fucking day, okay? This is serious fucking business, right? It's great, meaning that none is like it. This is gonna be great, meaning great in the volume. Yep. See, this word is depictive of value. And yes, it's gonna be fucking great in in volume. It's depictive of volume. And yes, this day is gonna be fucking great in volume. The volume of destruction. Alright? You can only imagine. And then the fact of how many more destructive instruments, killing instruments that there are in the planet now. Way more than before, okay? Torture devices, fucking, you know, as I just said, fucking killing instruments, right? Microwave guns and you know, way more deadly diseases that they have them that are fucking man-made that they could just unleash from, you know, many more inventions and innovative ways of destruction, okay, that are on the scene in this time that are going to get rolled out. All right. And it's extremely deserved. Okay. And to end it on a good note, that's why we look for the salvation of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay? Just as it says in Amos 9. And I believe it's the 9th chapter. Let's jump there real quick. But he's going to save a remnant, right? Amos 9 and 8 says, behold, the eyes of Yahweh power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? This is our primary focus, right? The fact that there is an allotment that he is predestined for salvation, and we long to be a part of that number. And in longing, we comes with a certain way that you fucking maneuver. All right, we have amended our ways, right? And if we be a part of that number, it was in the path and in the script the whole time for them to do that. Okay. To seek Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. And like it says, right? So this is our primary focus, that we I believe it's in Second Esdras, the ninth chapter. Not to focus on how the wicked will be punished, but how the righteous will be saved. Okay, this is what we look for, but it's all ultimately according to the Heavenly Father's will, and His will is to fucking to viciously judge our people. Okay, these people, Israel, that you read constantly about in these scriptures. What does it say in Isaiah 65? It talks about how they blaspheme the Heavenly Father right to His face. Okay, it's all throughout these scriptures what Israel has done and what they continue to fucking do in this time. Just those reincarnated souls of all these accounts we read in the scriptures, even here in Isaiah 65, what was in reference to those Jakes at that time, those fucking souls are reincarnated now, and they're on the same fuck shit. So we see how, you know, needful and required this destruction is of our people. All right, what does it say? A people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face. Isaiah 65:3. Okay, the same fucking the same Jakes. Okay, and this thing is right here. It's at the door. All right, and Lord willing, the Heavenly Father, see fit to grant us with a covering from this. All right. So with that, all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rachah Kadash. Shalom.